Hey, do you like to save money on toys? Well, then check out actionfiguresale.com, where they have awesome prices and you can save an additional 20% off just for using the TFAN promo code on your next purchase. Anyways, moving on to the video. Hello guys, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time I'm doing another Before It's Out video. Now if you guys don't know what that is, basically it's a web series where we're going to take a look at a Transformers toy before it gets released, so take everything with a grain of salt. In this video we're going to take a look at the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Siege Springer, and I am super happy that they're doing a brand new Springer that looks closer to the original Generation 1 toy. Now that's not to say that I hate this toy. I really actually do like it, and I mainly love the design, but I bought this late in the game. I already had the Sandstorm that came out later, which is a remold of this, so I don't have that much of an attachment to the toy itself. It's still cool, but I kind of just set him back from everything else. But definitely a great looking Springer. I definitely love that toy. But taking a look at this definitely draws inspiration from the original Generation 1 design, and I think that's what we needed, because I still feel that I'm perfectly fine owning this, and this isn't really an upgrade, just an alternate version of it, so that's good. And I'm glad that they still retained the triple changer alt mode. Some people were kind of concerned about that, because in early images we only had 2 of the modes. But anyways, take a look at the car mode. I think the car mode is fine. I kind of like how the yellow slopes kind of droop down like that. And as you can see, all the weapons can combine with that little gray component, which is just kind of a random piece to act as the attachment for the rotor blades, which is pretty much just the swords. So not as cool as the original Generation Springer, but you know, it's still fine. Blue cockpit, which is pretty cool. You can see it's got that lighter green and the darker green tones, which is nice. And then gray on the back, which looks pretty cool. Overall, there's not really much for me to say, but it definitely has that boxy aesthetic that I'm definitely okay with. And then take a look at the helicopter mode. Now this is where Springer kind of gets away with being a triple changer, and Dropkick and Shatter from the Bumblebee movie is going to be more difficult to work with. You can see that there's components from both alt modes between each. Like the helicopter, what changed about the front? Well, the side things just kind of go back. And that's pretty much it. So most of the aesthetic is kind of retained in this. With Shatter and Dropkick, you have a muscle car that transforms into an Apache helicopter or a jet, and then into a very complicated robot. So it's gonna be harder to deal with. I just felt like mentioning that because people complain so often of, well, why aren't these triple changers, and how come they can do this with Springer? That's why, because Springer is much easier to deal with. But still looks pretty cool. It also looks like you could still drive it around, so I guess if you just want to combine the 2 alt modes, this is pretty much it. I'm not sure how I feel about the rotor blade section, because the way it also combines into a major gun section thing, I'm not sure if it's going to have the same problem as Blackout, where the rotor blades don't spin freely, but I don't know anything about that. It also looks like the peg is a separate piece from the gray component, so maybe there's a pin that will allow that to spin around. You also have a couple of little wing pieces that stick out the side. The back section seems to thin out, which is okay. Overall, you know, it's fine. Definitely seeing more of the car in this, but I mean, this definitely reminds me of the original Springer. I also like how both guns are different for this toy. I think that's a nice touch. And then in the robot mode, you have a whole bunch of weapons, and where are you gonna put them? Well, thanks to Siege, he's got a whole bunch of portholes for that, so that's good. I like how the chest looks boxy. I like the styling of the head. It looks fantastic. The shoulders are big and bulky, which is fantastic. He's got a couple of different tones of green, which definitely reminds me of the original Springer. I feel like the scratched up bits on this toy really does help, although the yellow kind of blends in with the toy. But I do like how the legs have this kind of bluish gray color to them, Looks fantastic. I'm just curious if, you know, there's weapon storage for this guy. I'm sure there is. I'm just hoping that there's a specific spot for the swords. And I was looking at the sword closely because it's got a couple of tabs. So I was thinking, is it going to do the Age of Extinction Voyager drift thing to where the swords can combine? And no, I forgot about the swooshing effect that comes from the lionizer that you can attach onto the back. But still pretty cool. Definitely into that head sculpt. Definitely looks like Springer. I'm a huge fan of this. It doesn't outshine the original toy, and I still think that the original toy probably looks better, but if you want something closer to the original Generation 1 Springer, this is your guy. This is your toy. I think it looks very nice, and I'm definitely okay with it. With that out of the way, that is pretty much it. So what do you guys think? Please comment below. Let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to those fun doodads, and I will see you guys next time.